Welcome to Touching the Edge. Welcome to Touching the Edge. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being part of this process of looking at intent and noticing the difference between an unbreakable intent and a very strong intent. How sometimes even having a very, very strong intent can still snap, and when it does, it leaves us feeling bereft. But an unbreakable intent is an intent that allows ourselves to be in contact with whatever is. And one of those things that connects us to that intent is to be able to find humor, to be able to laugh at ourselves or laugh in a way that's good-natured, that's not mean-spirited. And so I'm just going to tell you a story. I don't really remember it that well, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway. But supposedly it's about a woman who is in an airport, and she's sitting there waiting for a plane, and there's a man sitting next to her. And she has a bag of cookies between them. And she's eating cookies out of the bag. And then all of a sudden the man begins to eat cookies out of the bag as well. And she becomes very, very angry. She's incensed. She doesn't say anything, but she's just so angry. And then all of a sudden her boarding call comes up, and she gets up and she storms off, and she walks into the plane and sits down, and she's still seething with anger. She opens up her purse to get something out of her purse, and then all of a sudden she sees in her purse that there's a bag of cookies there. Suddenly she realizes that the cookies that she was eating were not her cookies. She was eating his cookies. So as she was feeling so much anger, she realized suddenly that she was actually eating this other person's cookies. And she felt that moment's chagrin, but she couldn't help but laugh. And that's what I'm talking about. Let's laugh at ourselves. Let's laugh at our foibles. Let's laugh at the silly elements that make us kind of a dorky person, that help us to enjoy this life. Recognizing that this laughter is your resilience. This laughter is, if it's in the right spirit, connecting you to your own deepest intent. That intent, I just want to suggest to you that your intent, when you are aware that you have an abiding intent, that connects you to something that's really, really deep. It connects you to abundance. When you have connection with intent, you have connection with abundance. And that's the ultimate freedom. Remember, freedom is not about having a trillion different choices. It's about being clear about what the right choice is for you and being able to follow that up. And that is your unbreakable intent. It's your connection to your deepest and your most authentic self. So let's laugh today. And let's be aware of the abundance, because if you didn't have abundance, you wouldn't be here looking at this channel right now. You wouldn't be digging for elements of your own intent if you didn't have some connection to it. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. So here we go. When you're completely present, you are completely calm. And in that deep well of patience, you have exactly the relationship to your truest and deepest self. Thank you so much for joining. I bring my hands together and I bow to you, my friend. Have a wonderful day.